Hi, it's been a while. In my mind, it's been like a month since I've been on my YouTube channel, especially because usually I record at night and this is a lot of daylight. I've been gone because in my university, the semester is divided in three, and each third, like, cut, there is, final exams and final projects, so I have been doing that, and it's a lot, and, especially because some classes, some people just, honestly, it's like, college isn't free, so like why aren't you making an effort? But whatever. And also, as you could probably, well, I don't know if you could probably hear it, but I'm sick. I got sick because we lived through a pandemic, but people don't know how to wear a mask. And so I was doing a project on Friday, and I just felt like all my energy just like a vampire was, like, I don't know why I use that as an example. Like, that was a really common occurrence that was happening to people. Like, a vampire was biting them, and then but whatever. My life force was draining, so much so that I don't like I don't like taking pills. But I took a Tylenol and then I took a Dolix. Obviously with 8 hours in between. But I didn't. But yeah, it just like tension and like congested and like it was just not fun. And I spent basically the whole weekend not doing any work. Thankfully, I had I had done parts of my things like earlier, so I was able to like take like Friday and Saturday off basically, and I slept and I watched the show that I'm going to talk about. But anyways, and and then what? Oh yeah, and then on Sunday, my parents wanted, like, they were like, we need to get you out, so I wore a mask, and I only took it off to eat, and then I put it back on, because again, like, but I feel like some people got even, like, worse after the pandemic, like, people full-on, like, toddler cough, and it's like, you're not a toddler to be doing that. Anyways, moving on to what I'm the longest intro. Moving on to what I actually want to talk about, the rings of power. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about it. That's a lie. I've only seen Moist Critical talk about it, and I really love watching Moist Critical's takes and his videos and stuff. So I kind of wanted to give my own, because I feel like there's a lot, like, there's like a big discrepancy in the show. There's people who really really hate it and there's people who really really love it. I like it. I really enjoyed it. Now, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you like a little preface. I've not read any of Tolkien's, I have no idea how to pronounce his name, books. I've only watched The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, like all of them. Lord of the Rings is amazing. The Hobbit is also amazing. But I have not read any of the books, so I don't know any of the lore. But here's what the gripes that I'm kind of seeing and my responses to them. So, Rings of Power, I kind of went in on it not knowing anything. I didn't watch any trailer. I just saw that it was something like set in the Lord of the Rings universe, and I was like, okay. So when I loved it. I loved every second of it. I love Galadriel. I love Elrond. I have no idea how to pronounce these names, by the way. I love, oh, I don't know his name. I don't know everyone's name. I just know like the ones that are like the most common and you kind of hear, because they say Galadriel like every 5 seconds, okay? And I saw one of the main main criticisms about her was that, oh, she's not like the one in Lord of the Rings. Good. Like, I don't know, for me, for my personal, I don't really, I'm not a theater major. I don't have anything like that, degrees related to the arts. But Lord of the Rings, she's like, that's like 200 years from my understanding into the future, right? Obviously, Galadriel is going to evolve, is going to change, is going to be much more mature, 200 years older. Whereas now, for me, it makes sense that we're seeing her character development, the arc of, like, who she is and how she became this, like, courageous and very, like, oozes respect and fear. Galadriel, fear. When I remember when I was a kid and I watched that movie, fear. But she is like, where in this show she is affected by her ego and by fear, and she is a person. And I know people are like, well, she's an elf, but yeah, but like they're not, they're still, I don't know how to say humans because they're not humans, but you know what I mean? They still have personality. That's the word. And so for me, it makes sense that we're seeing her transition and seeing how her, having this continuous like need to be in battle and to like it became her entire life, that she didn't go. I had such a hard concept to understand that they were going to the other. I thought they were like, oh my god, they're all dying. They're not dying. I thought they were dying. Like I said, I knew none of the lore. I had to Google it in my free time, like, what is this? What is that? But anyways, it makes sense. The whole first, I almost said semester, the first season, and by the way, I feel like I should talk about how I'm going to spoil this, but anyways, it's kind of obvious. By the end of the season, you see how much it has shook her to her core of like what that her basically she's the reason that Sauron is like, yeah, well, no, I mean, in the second season you see that Sauron is gonna be Sauron no matter what, but for her, in her eyes, she did this. She's the reason that he decided to come back, because he was like, I'm gonna go, live with the sheeps and go be sad somewhere else. In reality, we see from the flashbacks that no, he was gonna be Sauron, but she kind of like was the one who gave him validity to the other elves, to I don't know how to pronounce his name, Celebron, something with a C. I don't know. I personally really liked her journey and seeing her and seeing how badass she is, because they don't like Mary Sue her. They don't like, she is strong. She's a commander. But she's not infallible. She is growing, and I really like that. What else did I love Sauron and Galadriel. I love like the little things where she's like, even Elrond tells that you have that darkness inside you. That is why he was able to talk to you, and you see her in her eyes. I don't know, I think it's really good. I don't see why that's like, because why would we watch a show if it's the same Galadriel that we see in Lord of the Rings? Especially if it's 200 years of the past. That makes no sense that she wouldn't change. I get that in 200 years for elves, that's not a lot. But still, like, at least that's probably 20 years for them. And you're going to tell me you don't change in 20 years? I really like the expansion of the characters. I feel like in Lord of the Rings, because obviously these movies came out like 20 years ago, it's very, like, there's not a lot of diversity, okay? But in this show, you have dwarves, like, what's her name? Diza? Dude, she's so funny, and she's so perfect. I love that actress. She's, I don't know. I haven't looked her up, but she's not white, basically. And I don't know why I'm saying this, and I'm like getting nervous saying this, but, and then you have the elf that I forgot what his name is, but he is the one who's in love with the human woman, and his whole, like, I enjoyed every second. And I saw so many people hating on the actor because the actor is black and he's playing an elf, and people had a conundrum that how can elves be black, be Asian, not like white and blonde. And I think it's ridiculous that, again, this is a make-believe universe. Make-believe, like, it's not, people exist, I don't know. I think it's just like crazy to me that it's like an actual argument. And I saw this one person on Twitter being like, oh, it's gonna get the I have no idea how to pronounce that name, Star Wars one, the one that they canceled because they had Amandala, I have no idea how to pronounce her last name, and Manny Jacinto, and they canceled the second season, and Manny Jacinto's trying to like get the second season to like take off. Anyways, people were like, how do they have such a diverse Star Wars cast? Like, that's a legitimate criticism. And it's like, what do you mean? People, they should be diversity. There should be, like, people should be, anyone, every path of life should watch this and be like, you know what, yeah, I could be a dwarf, I could be an elf, well, humans are always humaning, but I don't know, I just think that that's kind of like an illogical criticism to give. And the thing is, all these characters are driven. They have personalities. They're not like just there to be like to fill the diversity hire quota or whatever you want to call it. They actually have storylines. They actually have personalities, be it that they're scared, be it that they're, they're not just one-dimensional, just standing in the background like, how in certain movies they're like, we brought the first gay character, and then it's a character right in the back who has like one sentence. That doesn't happen here. Like, the characters are actually interacting. They're actually, I don't know, I really like the show. I like how it's going. I'm up to date with the second season. I like how it's going. I love the little tidbits of what is the dwarf's name? Diza's husband, the prince dwarf, and how he's like so suspicious of Sauron, and being like, Elrond would never say some nice things about me, like, what? And then you kind of see how Sauron manipulates people, and then you see the other, and now we got to the point where the other, I don't know what he is. What is he? Sauron, the one who betrayed Sauron, who's like an elf, dark elf thing, orc. I don't know the lore, by the way. I just know what I'm being shown. And he is also like very scared of Sauron because he betrayed Sauron. And then it's so interesting to see how Sauron and Galadriel are going to interact, and Elrond not being able, like, having so much fear of the rings that not taking Galadriel, and even when Galadriel kind of sacrifices herself, he's like, she didn't sacrifice for us, she sacrificed for the ring, because he's so afraid of the ring. And I mean, obviously it makes sense why he would have certain reservations, because again, Sauron was right there, but at the same time, it's like this, I don't know, the stakes, you can feel the stakes, you can feel the characters, you can feel that why they are all acting the way that they are. And it's so interesting, and I'm really happy that I think they have so much viewings that they're getting like a third season, which I'm so excited for. But yeah, I think that some people aren't giving the show a chance, or some people might be kind of letting nostalgia like blind them a little. Not to say that the show doesn't have like a perfect show, like, no, obviously there's certain things that I'm like, oh, they kind of focus a little bit too much on this, or I would have liked this, blah, blah, blah. Like that that could be seen in any show. But all in all, I think it's a really good show. I think it really expands on things. Like, I saw people getting really mad that the orcs had wives and babies. I think that's cool. I think it's fun and world building to show that, oh, these creatures aren't just evil just to be evil, okay? They have their own community, they have their own, you know, culture and stuff, and you know, and they are this way because they're being rejected by everyone else. Because, you know, I think it gives more, you know, it gives more flavor, more things than just being like, ah, yeah, they're evil. Because then what would be the stakes? You know, they just killed them all, you know, like. So I don't know. I think the show gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Again, there are valid criticism. There are valid, like, I don't really like, you know, that's fine. But I think some of it is just a little bit forced, a little bit too much. But yeah, I just really like the show. If you're on the fence about, well, should I watch it or not, honestly, I think you should give it a try. I think I mean, I did spoil a lot of it, but some people don't mind spoilers. I don't mind spoilers. So anyways, if you're on the fence, if you're like, oh, should I watch it or not, watch it. It is good. It is fun. It is, you know, Galadriel, I don't feel like they minimized her character. They don't minimize her strength, her ability. She's stubborn. She's a stubborn woman, and she is very much headstrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's just how she is kind of navigating to learn when to stand down or when to know how to change strategies. Oh, I also forgot the plot of the humans with Numenor. Honestly, yeah, I actually like that plot too. It is infuriating, but a good infuriating, because it's like the humans are like, oh my god, what are you guys doing? Always doing something. Yeah. That's it.